Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Harrington versus Daye.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Harrington, you claim you are not the father of Miss Daye's 1-month-old daughter, Nalani Daye, and want her to stop pinning her baby on you. You say your sexual relationship with the defendant ended before she got pregnant. Ms. Daye, you say you would never attempt to pin a baby on a man without being sure he is the father. You believe the DNA results will put an end to all of the rumors. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Harrington, you say she's pinning a baby on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Nalani is not my child. This is the reason, though. Because there's other contenders, and she's a promiscuous person. She like to be, you know what I'm saying, she a party person. So she do whatever she feel like she want to do. And she knows I'm a good father to the child I already got with her. You know, I'm a good person, and I take care of my responsibilities.
So you think this is just an attempt to get a good dad for her child?
Yeah.
Ms. Daye, those are strong allegations.
If
What do you do?
he is not the father of my child, I am the Virgin Mary. There's no other possibilities. I have not been messing around with anybody else throughout the time that we were messing around.
Well,
So you are 100% positive Mr. Harrington
That
is your child's biological
ma'am.
father?
Yes, ma'am.
No doubt in your mind?
No doubt in my mind.
So talk to me about your relationship during the window of time Nalani was conceived.
We were living together in September. So we got into it, broke up. My middle child, the other child that we have together, was having seizures. So she was in and out of the hospital. When we was in the hospital, at the hospital, we did it. So when we did it, I really do believe that's the day that I
At the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
yes,
we did at the
ma'am.
hospital. We ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
After that,
Yeah, we did, but at the end of the day, it wasn't in November. When she...
I also didn't get pregnant in
You didn't
November neither.
okay.
I didn't conceive in November.
Whatever.
So tell me
after
when you
that-
found out you were pregnant.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I went to go and take an MRI. I was doing a brain study, went to go and take an MRI. When I went to go take the MRI, before you take it, they have to give you a pregnancy test because it can affect your pregnancy or whatever. So when I went to go and take the pregnancy test, they came back and they told me that I was pregnant. So when I found out about that, it took me to actually go to my first appointment to figure out when my due date was and a timing and different stuff. So once I did figure that out, I told him.
That's not true at all. First of all, she didn't even tell me. She didn't even tell me that she was pregnant. I had to find out through an anonymous texter that...
How did you find out she was pregnant?
An anonymous texter, I swear. We got into a conversation, I got the text right here.
Let me see those,
Let me
please,
see the
Jerome.
text,
So,
too.
look.
Let me see
You
it.
about to
Did
see?
you make it up?
I swear to God, why would I make that up? Like,
I
come
don't
on
know.
now.
I mean, you making up.
tripping. That's
So
just
you
stuff that
say
you tripping.
you got a tip from an anonymous texter.
Anonymous text.
A text comes through to your phone and it says,
Baby mama.
how your baby mama pregnant and her and your sister hiding it from you. It might be guy number 1 baby though. You write back, who is this? So you just an anonymous tipper, huh?
Yeah.
One baby.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Because you
I
questioned
was
this at
driving on the way
first.
back from work.
Yup, can't tell you who I am. She won't tell me nothing else. And she was blanking guy number 2. And then you write back, word.
Yeah, I said word.
That's how you found out she was pregnant,
Yes,
though.
that's exactly.
Never mind guy number 1 and guy number 2.
Yeah, that's how I found out. Then I asked my sister, I called her, whatever. I was like, so I heard you was hiding the pregnancy. She was like, Kayla didn't want me to tell you, and she was also saying that you the daddy. And I'm like, how? When she ain't talking to me. So I tried to call her. She not answering the phone.
He's trying to flip it around. I don't answer
flip
his
what?
call on a daily, on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I don't answer the call.
She do ignore my calls. That's
So-
why she be trying to hide my child from me too. Like, come on.
For him to say that I was trying to hide because I didn't pick up the phone or
But you
something
never told
like
me you
that.
was pregnant though.
I did tell you I was
didn't.
pregnant.
You told. I found out in January.
I found out in January too. That's
No, you
when I
didn't.
went to go. Your Honor,
Lord have
I
mercy.
found out when I found out that I was pregnant.
So all them missed periods
in January.
All them missed periods and
when
you
I went
okay.
to go and do my MRI.
You know you got 2 other kids.
For my brain study. So when I found out, I was already 4 months pregnant.
So at the time you found out you were pregnant, you all weren't together.
No. We was
and
not
so
together.
did you immediately call him or did you tell his sister and neither one of you all told him and the anonymous tipper had to tell him?
I probably told his sister before I told him, but even if it was something that I did not tell him, it was only a week, probably like a week span of time.
You hear how you sound, right?
And how do I sound?
Like
somebody telling the truth,
like you're trying to, like what you do all the time. You try to work around a lie. You working around a lie right now.
Sent the message.
You lying. You
Anyway,
not keeping it a band. Keep it a band.
So what are you lying
about? Keep it a band. I don't lie.
This not being your baby, right?
It ain't my baby.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. The tip was true that you were pregnant, but you're saying there was no guy number 1 and guy number 2.
No. It wasn't. There is a guy number 1 and a guy number 2, but not a guy number 1 and a guy number 2 potentially to be my child's father.
But you believe you were pregnant before you start talking to these guys.
I know I was pregnant before then.
I want to go to the birth of Nalani, and I want to understand, once he finds out you're pregnant, are you supportive of this pregnancy, Mr. Harrington? Are you at the doctor's appointments? Do you come for the birth?
Yes, I was there for the birth because I was saying to myself, okay, if I am a possible father, I don't want to have missed the birth. So I was keeping it real with myself. I was being real with myself.
Okay.
All right.
Wrong, because he told me that he just wanted to make sure that I knew that he was gonna always be there.
I am gonna always be there for my child, but you can't be pinning, you know what I'm saying? You trying to pin this child on me.
So you showed up for the birth. You showed up for the birth as the daddy?
No. No, yes, I didn't even sign a birth certificate. How?
You didn't sign a birth certificate, but you wanted to give her your last name?
If it's mine. If it's mine. I said, if you're sure that it's my child, give her my last name.
No, you did not.
I did say that.
Are you going to give her my last name?
And so hold on. Let's get some order. So, Miss Daye, I want to understand this. You believe he accepted the baby at the hospital?
He did. He accepted
You never
baby.
expressed anything to you that this is not my baby?
No, ma'am.
Got it. You have a witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ma'am, please stand. Step to the podium. State your name for the court.
Ebony Hall.
Miss Hall, what relationship are you to Miss Daye?
I'm her sister, her older sister.
Her older sister. And what do you know about the birth of Nalani that would indicate, since you are her witness, that Mr. Harrington is Nalani's biological father?
Because when he came to the hospital, he asked her not to be named Nalania. He wanted her to be named Naya.
They just trying to make.
He don't want to admit nothing because because his girlfriend told him that if he's the father to this baby, that he would have to. They would break up, and he don't want to go.
They broke up.
And he don't want to go home to his mama because he hopped from.
Well, you're still there.
Oh, that's what
So
you irrelevant because you don't.
But I'm still here.
She don't even know nothing that's going on.
Hold on. What you're saying is you believe this is an entire concocted story because he doesn't want to break up with his now girlfriend.
And go back home to his mother's house because he don't have no job. When he get with a girl, he moves in with the girl.
And so thank you for your testimony. You can have a seat. Mr. Harrington, they're saying you're denying this baby because you have a new girlfriend. What is your doubt?
I wasn't even finishing her, you know. I wasn't finishing. When we was doing, you know, I was like a chauffeur. I was in and out, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why.
You didn't complete the sexual act, so you don't feel like you could have impregnated her.
And I'm gonna tell you, because the conception date.
So you're saying her conception date is wrong?
It isn't right because I went to only one of her appointments or whatever, and the doctor said, August 3rd, 2018 was her due date. Let me see when she conceived it, because I know they got the little calculators online.
Understood.
Can I please step towards the monitor real quick?
Oh, you brought an exhibit. Yep, step over to it.
You're gonna start showing where your ears look alike, your head look alike?
I put in August 3rd, 2018 as the due date.
So wait a minute. How did you even get what the due date was? You heard it at the appointment?
Yes.
So the doctor said.
The doctor said that.
All right, so you put that into a conception calculator.
I hit generate. And November 10th. How are you gonna have a baby with me
in November?
In November, when I left in the middle of October.
And in the previous testimony, Ms. Daye, you did admit that you weren't intimate with other guys until November because you were with him September, October.
Yes, ma'am. I wish that I had the messages because I went back to look at it. I didn't even chill with nobody until November the 15th.
Hold on, chill and have sex. Does chill mean have sex on November 15th?
No, it doesn't, because I wasn't messing around. I didn't mess around on that day that I did hang out with my friend.
How you know you don't?
Because I know what I do.
Okay.
But earlier in your testimony, you indicated you had conceived in September.
Yes, September or October.
Because you were 4 months when you found out in January.
Right.
That would put you in September, but with this conception calculator, what Mr. Harrington says is true in the sense that if the due date was the 3rd, your conception date window would be around that second week of November.
But when you look at stuff like that, they don't put up in there that you're actually pregnant for 40 weeks. They don't calculate like that.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
The bottom line is this: the doctor, they project.
Right.
We do understand that no one can calculate biology.
Right.
Because that's why they give us a window of conception.
Right.
So when was Nalani actually born?
She was born on the 24th of July.
All right, so that's only just a little over a week early than what the projected due date would have been.
Right. And even in October, I was still living with him in October.
Which makes this even more complicated, because you said you all were still being intimate in October. That's when Mr. Harrington even admitted that was during the time when he was still completing the sexual act.
No, I wasn't completing it in October.
You wasn't?
I wasn't.
You wasn't?
I wasn't.
You wasn't. Are you serious?
I know
no, you obviously don't.
Mr. Harrington, you can step back over to the podium.
I know what I was doing. How you gonna
no, you don't.
How you
gonna
tell me what I was doing?
Apparently.
Okay.
Because I know. I was the one who ended up pregnant from your actions.
Okay.
Look, even when we calculate the weeks, there is never an opportunity, even for doctors, to understand this completely. Because the truth is, it is hard to calculate, since you all were having sex 1 month, and then the next month you're broken up, you've moved on. That's a window of time that leads us straight to this courtroom. This is what we do.
Exactly.
This is why we do it. So the stakes are high because you have another child together.
Yeah.
Nalani's 1 month.
Look at Eve, hold on. Okay.
So what are your hopes?
I hope to just get to the truth. Because if it's my child, I'm going to step up, because that's what I do. And if it ain't mine, I'm just going to move on. I just want to be in my child life.
All right, and your hopes, Ms. Daye?
I just hope to get the truth.
I hope he's not the father. Because he acting. How do you deny and deny and deny? And you're denying for these girlfriends.
Hold on. I want to be clear about your hope.
My hope.
So now you hope he's not the father after you said he was the father all day?
I know he is the father.
So let's just be honest before we open this envelope. Could it come back some other way?
No, it cannot. I know that could be only one other person.
You don't know. You don't know.
No, I do.
Fascinating testimony, Ms. Daye. We've been waiting all day for this.
No, I think people are getting confused of what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna let that testimony speak for itself. So the real truth ultimately is that you are here because you belong here.
Right.
Let's get the results. We get it. We get it now. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Harrington versus Daye, when it comes to 1-month-old Nalani Daye, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Harrington, you are not the father.
What?
Told you, bro.
Are you serious?
Told you. Can I Millie Rock?
No. No, you can't.
Sorry. My bad.
No, you can't. You know why? Because you have another child with her, so you're not gonna clown in here.
Okay.
Because that's acting a fool, and that's what I don't do.
But I told her. I told her that.
You need to Millie Rock yourself to the drugstore and get some condoms.
I am.
Hold on. Because don't start clowning. all of you men running around here talking about, I'm a chauffeur. Yeah, you are. You driving yourself right to paternity court. If you think
I did.
hold on.
Definitely.
No, if you think just because you don't finish that you can't get a girl pregnant, just this time, it wasn't you. But if you keep it up, it will be you with another woman. You have got to understand that.
Yeah.
Now, moving on, Miss Daye, you were so certain. You said you was the Virgin Mary.
Right.
And I did not see you come down from the heavens and land there at that podium. So you still are Kayla Daye.
Right.
So now we're here. We got the answer. Do you know who Nalani's father is? Because that's my real question. Do you know who Nalani's father is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is a beautiful little girl. She deserves her daddy. It's all out now. We ain't got to lie about it. We ain't got to act like it didn't happen. It happened because she's here. You got to get outside of yourself now. You got to be the mother that you need to be.
Right.
It's got to be no shame in your game. And you got to be like guy number 1, guy number 2. And I don't care if it's guy number 22. You got to figure out who your baby's father is. She deserves it. We have counseling and resources for you. I wish you the very best. Court is adjourned.
Take a seat right here.